Hello Pisces, Elsie here to do a weekly read. Let's get to it. Just like that, it is Mercury retrograde, right? Mercury is in retrograde in your sign, and it's a long one, friends. It is a long one, and it is going from today until the 20th of March, and then we have the post-shadow phase for a couple of weeks, so literally till the end of March. So lots of changes could be going on. Let's find out what those changes could be for you, Pisces. Happy birthday, friends. Just wanted to say happy birthday, and I have shown up here to do a 9-card draw for you. Now, please understand that this is not just for Pisces Sun, this reading. It is for Pisces Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Jupiter signs. So let's take a look and find out what's going on. We're going to do a 9-card draw, and at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you about how to find the extended. I'm also going to tell you about what sales I have on, because there's a sale going on right now for the pre-recorded readings until the 4th of March. Let's find out what is going on in Pisces season. Happy birthday to you, friends. My water family, my two fishes friends. I pushed you to the front of the line because it's your birthday. Let's find out what's going on here. Tell you about Pisces. What does Pisces need to know? Just going to let the universe choose the topic today. We've got the Magician. You are in creation mode. Yes, it is your season, and you are in creation mode. You're in manifestation mode here. Tell me more. We've got the 8 of Cups. Interesting. And we've got the 6 of Wands. It does feel like you are creating some sort of victory in your life. Pisces, I feel like you are in this energy of having come out of one of the toughest cycles in your life. And I feel like it's going to start to get easier. I'm going to say that you are cautiously optimistic. I'm just going to say that we have the 6 of Wands here. We have the 5 on the bottom here. And then we have the 1 that's in the hand of the person who's getting their victory. The 6 of Wands is about coming back from the fight, coming back from the war, and getting your victory while people cheer you on. But 5 Wands, the way it's broken up here, I feel like you're getting some sort of exciting, new, creative, exciting, fiery sort of victory that's going to be coming up. But I think that it came at a cost. I think that you had to walk away from something, or you had to detach from something in order to be able to get this victory. It does feel like you are coming out of maybe dark night of the soul energy. It could be that. Tell me more about Pisces. We've got the 4 of Swords. Yeah, you've been healing, my friend. We've got the Knight of Cups at the center of the read, and then we have the 3 of Cups. Look, you are getting some sort of victory that you're going to be celebrating soon, and I think that you'll be celebrating with a group of people that you love. It could be family, it could be friends, but it feels like it's celebratory time. Look, this could also mean that maybe you're invited somewhere to celebrate you, but I think that you're in the mood of celebrating anyway. I feel like you've been healing emotionally, I'm going to say, after having detached or walked away. This is your energy here, the 8 of Cups. Having detached or walked away from someone or something, maybe it was a situation, or finally walking away, you've decided the best way to live is detachment from the emotions, because I got to get through this life. I can't be emotional, like highly, deeply emotional about everything that comes by. I feel like you have healed yourself to a place where you are now very aware that you have all the resources, tools, and skills you need in order to be able to heal yourself. So I think that the Magician is telling me you now know how to heal the self emotionally, possibly. Tell me more about Pisces. We've got the 6 of Cups. We've got the 8 of Wands. And we have the High Priestess in the reverse. Look, the High Priestess is usually revealing secrets here. It feels like something is coming to the surface or being revealed, and it's going to be something that is going to be celebratory. You're going to be celebrating something that feels deeply emotional to you. But I also feel, because the Knight of Cups is at the center of the read, it feels like it's not only deeply emotional, but I think it's taken a long time for you to get to this point where you can celebrate about anything. Because I feel like you've been in some sort of healing phase for a while. And then when we're in the 4 of Swords, like, we can see the 4 are here, but the 3 are here too, right? The 3 of Swords are here. Something that was heartbreaking or disappointing that you were getting through, I feel like you're beginning to understand it. The challenge is speaking about it. Whenever I see a sword on its side, it's like the challenge is saying it. I feel like you're finally coming to a place where you're in balance emotionally. you're finally coming to a place where now I think I can go out and have a glass of wine and not cry about something. I want to say that something is going to be revealed that is going to give you a reason to celebrate. It's like a mask is dropping. Maybe you're dropping the mask of, a lot of people want to be out with people, but they're trying to pretend on the surface that they're happy when things are falling apart underneath. Your energy here is the High Priestess. It feels like you're this energy of the High Priestess being in the reverse is like revealing a secret. You could be telling people why you've been away, or the secret that's being revealed could be very celebratory, something that you aren't expecting. We have the Eight of Wands. It does feel like you're no longer living in the past in your head. It feels like part of the healing you had to do was something that was going on in your mind, in your mind's eye. And I feel like it was hard to deal with, I want to say, because this is Scorpio and Scorpio is ruled by Mars. It feels like there was some sort of destruction, could have been destruction of a relationship. It feels like you're still not disconnected from this person. It could be a platonic relationship because the Six of Cups is not always love, it's family, it's friends. I feel like you've really done your part here to do a lot of healing, or maybe someone around you is healing and you've been helping that person heal. I want to say that the Knight of Cups is always passive energy. So it feels as though you're no longer going to be dealing with life on a passive basis here. I feel like you're about to move forward with this Sagittarian energy here, that you're resilient, and now it's time for you to get up and get your victory and do some celebrating. We're going to put down 2 cards here. We're going to see what's under the surface here, Pisces. And we've got the Hanged Man, the Two of Cups. So you're getting some sort of different perspective. You know what it is? I feel like you've learned that sacrifice is necessary in order for a different perspective to be revealed to you. I think you're looking at life in a very different way now. I think that you're looking at the Two of Cups in a different way. I think you have a different perspective on the Two of Cups. That the Two of Cups isn't only about romantic love. It can be, absolutely. But the cups are about emotions. And so this is a deepening of a bond. It feels like the deepening of the bond, or falling in love again. Having the bravery to do it. The Knights are always very brave. Tell me about this Eight of Cups. I want to know what you disconnected from, because it does feel like there was a disconnection here, or that you finally detached. You were practicing this detachment here. You let go of something, maybe 8 months ago, maybe 9 months ago. We've got the King of Pentacles. It could have been like a piece of land or something you owned. Maybe it was a house. It feels like it could have been a job, maybe a career change. It feels like there was maybe some battles or arguments. Or if you did let go of the King of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles can be a person, please understand, right? It could be a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. But depending on what lens you're looking at this from, it feels like it was a battle or something that you fought really hard for. And I feel like you ended up realizing that you're fighting, that the verbal fights and arguments we were having just were not worth it. I needed more grounding. We could be talking about someone who left a really high-paying job because it was really super stressful. All it was arguments, fights, sharp words. The Ace of Swords is also, we had a conversation about this. And so I finally realized that I needed to, in a moment of clarity, that I needed to leave. I needed to stop fighting. It feels like somebody here just detached. I can't do this with you anymore. It could be with a person. It could be with a job. It could be a piece of land or a house that you let go of, property of some kind. Pentacles are not only money, but it could be wealth, health. It could be time, effort, energy, property, something that's in the 3D, family. But it feels like this king could be a person for you. Take it as it resonates for you. Tell me about the Four of Swords. Feels like there's a lot of healing that's gone on here. It could be financial healing. It could be that somebody here realized that if I wait just a little bit, if I am going to leave this job, if I am going to detach, that I'm going to need to put some money in the bank. I feel like you possibly, if this is something that had to do with your finances, that somebody here was working in a toxic work environment. That I got tired of the rat race. I got tired of having to step on people's heads to get above them. And I feel like somebody here decided, I don't want to do it anymore. I just need to heal. We've got the Three of Wands, and we've got the Knight of Wands. So I think somebody here made a really big, brave, bold move. The Three of Wands being future. I see my future, and it isn't where I am right now. It feels like it could have been that you cut off a father or a mother, because we're talking kings, right? So you could have cut off a parent, possibly. Whatever it was, excuse me, whatever it was, you detached from it in order to stabilize your mental health, is what it feels like. So the Seven of Pentacles tells me you waited. Whatever you wanted in the future, you had to wait for it, because you wanted to expand, but first you had to be brave enough to heal, brave enough to see something for what it really was. This here, I'm attracted to here, because something here is being revealed that is going to make you very happy. And I think it's because you're getting some type of victory here, Pisces. After a really long time of being in some sort of dark night of the soul, the hardest sort of cycle you've ever been in, I'm going to say that it's the end of a dark time for you, and now it's time for you to celebrate. I feel like you're coming out of the tunnel, or it's like you're being something is being revealed to you, possibly at the end of a really hard cycle here. Tell me what we're celebrating. We've got the Eight of Swords, the Tower. Something is shifting. You know what it is I feel like we can be successful as we want in our lives, but if we don't see it, it doesn't feel like success. I want to say that you are coming out of a time of disillusionment. And that's really interesting that the Nine of Cups is in the reverse, because that is Piscean energy. And listen, you just had Saturn and Neptune leave your sign and go into Aries, right? And so I feel like it took with it this Delulu energy, like everything's fine. It feels like you're now going through some sort of a tower. So I would say that things are shifting for you, Pisces, in a way that you didn't expect. The Eight of Swords being here tells me that you've been in a place of self-imprisonment in the mind, overthinking things for a really long time, and I feel like the Tower comes as mercy to get you out of that energy and to get you to see things for what they really are, because the Tower brings clarity, like crazy clarity. And I feel like the Nine of Cups being in the reverse is now you're feeling like a little bit of disillusionment, because now that Neptune and Saturn have left your sign, things are clearer, right? A little bit clearer. Now, Mercury being in retrograde in your sign is also muddying the waters a little bit. So I feel like the Tower shows up to break things down, to crash through the illusion is what it is. That's what it feels like, to give you some sort of clarity. Let's find out how you're moving forward here. That's what it feels like this Eight of Wands is. Tell me about the Eight of Wands. Feels like you are about to move forward here, like with velocity. It feels like you're detaching from something that is nostalgic, or a thought process, or thoughts of someone, or it feels like something in the past. Finally, I feel like the past is letting go of you. And because the past is letting go of you, I feel like you're about to come out of the dark night of the soul and move ahead with velocity here. Into the future. Look at that, the Judgment card. That's beautiful. We've got the Star, the Ten of Pentacles, and Judgment. You know, Judgment is the something that keeps coming back. So there are things that we can put on the back burner. And when we put things on the back burner, that's when the Tower shows up and says, you can't ignore these things anymore. So I feel like with the time between Saturn and Neptune leaving your sign, before Mercury went into retrograde, I feel like there was a moment of clarity where the Tower fell, you started seeing things for what they are, you came out of the disillusionment, and I feel like you start to move forward in a lot of aspects of your life now. It feels like the healing is here, like you go into a fast track of healing. It feels like the Ten of Pentacles being here, you can now plan for the future. It feels like maybe that you were in a health battle, or somebody around you was in a health battle, possibly. But the Ten of Pentacles is longevity. This is like, I'm good for the next 10 years. This is a legacy. So maybe you had a sick child. But we have this Judgment card. And I feel like this Judgment card is now, it's something here is about to show up. Because this could be because of Mercury retrograde, but something you had to put on the back burner in order to take care of whatever was going on in the dark night of the soul energy. It feels like something here is showing up and now you're ready for it. Why? Because the star is here. Because you manifested it, because you're healed, it's showing up. It's the right time. It's a moment that something very abundant is going to show up for you. And I think it's because the High Priestess is in the reverse. Something is going to be revealed to you, my friend. So let's go into the extended and let's talk about that. I feel like you're worried that something is going to be revealed because I feel like you've just gotten out of the dark night of the soul. And when you come out of the dark night of the soul after having one of the hardest cycles of your life, you're very cynical. Oh, I don't know, that doesn't look like it's going to work out, because you're used to things not working out, right? So I feel like the Tower is here at the end of a hard cycle to push away or to knock down any obstacles that are left here, to give you different perspective, which I really think is this. It's like you have a new perspective on love, or a new perspective on connection, a new perspective on how I share myself with the world, or how I share myself with people. But I feel like you're worried about it because you're used to things going wrong. So if you want to come to the extended, that's where we'll be next. If you want to be in the extended, please look at the pinned comment at the top of all of the comments there. If you click on read more, you will see there is a link there for the membership area. And if you're interested in a private read, maybe this is your story and you're interested in a private read, please know that right now I do have a 10% off sale on my pre-recorded readings. Pre-recorded readings only go on sale every few months, and that is now. So 10% off, there is a code in the pinned comment. If you'd like to go over to Hypsee, check out my packages and my pricing. And this does feel like a bit of a reset. I'm just going to say, I do have a reset reading over on Hypsee if you're interested in having a private read for pre-records. If you're interested in speaking to me on the phone, if you want to have a live call with me, those readings are always on sale between 5 and 75% off. You just need to book ahead, book in advance, and I'd love to speak with you. Let's go into the extended. That's where I'm going to be next. And if you're not going to be there, that's okay, because I'll be back, because I'm always back. Happy birthday to you, my friends. And let's get to it and try and enjoy some Pisces season. I'm going to go for now. Love you guys. I'll be back. Bye-bye.